Hey everybody. Hey friends, Kevin here, welcome back. Are you an entrepreneur or are you more of an engineer? There are some very profound words of wisdom in both the fields of entrepreneurship and engineering that sound universal across the board. But be very careful about when you apply these things and double check if they actually apply. Because if you don't, as we're gonna talk about in a second, you might find yourself in a very bad situation. So let's get into it. So as you might know, I left my tech startup job here in Silicon Valley to try to build a financially self-sustaining YouTube channel right here. So I'm a creative type, a builder at heart, with a degree in computer science and business. My favorite memories of me as a kid were of me sketching out different things I wanted to build in my garage, like a catapult or a custom camera rig. But my favorite weekends were those where I could finally put down my homework, run into the garage, slam the door behind me, and just start making stuff. I would get so lost in the moment, and it would just be the best time ever. There's just some certain magic to it all. And so quitting my job, getting to spend an entire year making videos day in and day out, that was pretty much a dream come true for me. But little did I know that would actually also be one of the most emotionally taxing roller coasters of my entire life. See, I used to think that entrepreneurship was like engineering, where you would sketch up a plan and know how every single nut and bolt fit together before you even thought about getting started. And the smart advice in that engineering world is to have a plan and to measure twice, cut once. And while all of this is true, you've probably guessed it, it's not possible to live this way as an entrepreneur. And now let me clarify. Sure, it's important to have a rough idea of how all the pieces fit together. You gotta know your customer, the value you provide, your distribution models, etc. But once you get past a certain point, it just makes no sense to keep on projecting and pretending you can plan 5, 10, 20 steps down the road. Because unlike engineering, where you're playing with these physical objects that are static, in entrepreneurship, you're playing with future projections of people's behavior. The finicky behavior that people themselves don't even understand. So to put it this way, if an engineer and an entrepreneur were told to pave a road up a hill, the engineer would sit down and perfect this awesome plan and make sure no concrete gets wasted and would craft the perfect hill up that mountain. It would look spotless and amazing. But now let's add one small thing, the fog of uncertainty. So you're standing here on this little ridge and you see the peak of that hill in the distance. You know you gotta get there, but everything in between is covered in fog. Now, the engineer and the entrepreneur have a totally different task ahead of them. And this is where the engineer is gonna get stuck because there's no way for them to know what's under that fog. And so no matter how much planning or whatever they do, they're not gonna be able to know step 1 to 100 without leaving that starting point. And the entrepreneur knows this. And so without wasting a beat, the entrepreneur gets their rough bearings. Okay, I've got to head in that general direction. And they just start building these test paths. They start going on scouting expeditions to just see what's in that fog. And they know it's more important for them to build a crappy road out into the fog to see what's there than to build the perfect road with every step that they take. They realize that the fastest way for them to build the right road is to just build a ton of wrong roads to figure out where that right road should be. The engineer is still sitting there on that log at the starting place, trying to whiteboard their way to the perfect road. But the entrepreneur knows they can just go back and get more concrete if they wasted it, but you can't get your time back. You have to really wrap not just your head, but your emotions around the fact that if you're not taking these scouting journeys, you actually are falling behind. The skill of entrepreneurship is fundamentally the skill of assuming risk. That is building something in an uncertain world with uncertain people trying to make something that makes the world a better place. That is the essence of entrepreneurship. So whether you're an entrepreneur or an engineer, really take the time to question your fundamental guiding assumptions. Sometimes what you think is conventional wisdom could actually be holding you back. And now, of course, this is a bit of an oversimplification for the sake of this video, as smart entrepreneurs and engineers realize they have to sort of blend both styles of thinking. And so that's what I'm trying to do here on this channel, try to figure out where I should be building this road. My end goal, the hill in the distance, is me trying to make the world a little bit less lonely and show people they matter through making videos on the internet, and at the same time build a sustainable income stream so that I can sustain my work here that I'm doing. I'm trying to be as honest and transparent as I can and share my journey with you all of how I'm going through and trying and experimenting with these things. Thank you all for being here as we try to figure this thing out together, both this channel, but also life in general. Like, it's so cool how YouTube is a community. It's not just one person putting videos of themselves on the internet. We get to connect with each other. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope you got something out of it, sort of a reminder to really know where your mindset comes from. So don't forget to like and subscribe. This helps this channel and this video grow. Check out some of these other videos to keep watching, and I'll see you over there in a second. And yeah, much love, my friends. Be well.